Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be continuing our looks at the Marvel Legends Strange Tales wave with none other than Lilith, the mother of demons. We are approaching the end of the wire though. This is the final figure before we take a look at the Build-A-Figure from this wave, which is of course none other than the son of Mephisto himself, Blackheart. That said, both him and Lilith here are brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, and I gotta tell you, much like the Dracula figure we looked at earlier this week, Lord Dracula, excuse me, gotta get the titles right, folks, I have very much been looking forward to getting a figure of good old Lilith here for the longest time, to quote Billy Joel there, because I'm a big 90s Ghost Rider fan. I'm a big Midnight Suns fan. Hearts of Darkness didn't fight her, but some of those characters did. You know what I mean. 90s Marvel Comics revolved around this character for a hot minute. Let's not kid ourselves. She was a big baddie for a while. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that maybe, just maybe, we see her husband Zarathos, possibly even reusing some parts from that Lord Dracula figure at some point. I'd really like to get him. I'd love to get Vengeance and the Armored Johnny Blaze and the Caretaker, but I think we really need Zarathos to go with Lilith here. And since we got her, I think it's only a matter of time before we get him, because he's a little bit more basic than someone like Vengeance, who has a lot going for him. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Lilith has to offer in terms of accessories, which ain't much, unfortunately. She just has a couple of extra hands, open spellcasty hands, which is fine for her. She does do that in the comics, but it would have been nice to get some green flames or something. I wouldn't expect some little demon creatures, given the fact that was it Babs the ghost dog and that little baby Wolverine thing from the Mojo World set were acknowledged as being their own separate figures when in fact they're just slug accessories. Let's not kid ourselves. That wasn't going to happen with Lilith here, even though she is on a reused body buck, the Shriek body buck. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. If it's accurate, fine, but I always thought she was taller. I thought she was a taller gal. I figured she'd be on like the Power Princess buck or something like that. Maybe even the She-Hulk body, because I view her as tall and imposing. I can't English, I swear. But either way, she's got a really cool head sculpt with this smoky hair going on. It looks like flames the further down you go, or up top you go, it looks more like hair. She's got her crazy horns going on there. She's got an evil looking smile. Very, very nice. This head sculpt's like a 15 out of 10. This thing is awesome. Sits a little high on the neck for me, and I don't think her boobages are quite big enough. I have 90s Ghost Rider comics with this character in it. She was very well endowed, to say the very least. I think her booty's probably okay, though. As far as her cape goes, it just pegs into her back here. I guess you could count that as an accessory, but she always has it, so I view it as part of the character. That said, does she have like a popped-up white collar, too, normally? This figure doesn't have that, but my memory might not be serving me right now, and I just don't recall if she had it or not. I thought she did, though. But as far as her articulation goes, her head can look side to side, despite the fact the hair does hinder it a little bit, or the smoke, whatever you want to call it. She's got tilt. She's got some earrings going on. Those look good. She can bend her neck forward a bit, and you can see a little bit more of that lollipop syndrome, that lick it like a lollipop syndrome, that kind of makes her look a little funny there. But yeah, she does not have the best head range, obviously. It's a very unique design. She does have some tilt, though. Her shoulders will go out, back down. It will rotate She does have a bicep swivel, double elbow. And she does have a swivel hinge wrists with the little glove cuffs there that you don't want to lose. Again, her cape will move out of the way, so you can have it blowing in the wind if you want. She does have a little rotation in the torso, but not a ton. She can crunch back that far, forward this far, tilt side to side. See, she's getting all kinds of discombobulated. Let's get her back to how she was there. There you go. Close to how I had it anyways. Hips will kick forward. Very tight joints on those. They will kick forward, kick down, they'll kick out. Pretty okay, considering. She's got a thigh cut that doesn't feel too gummy, so it almost feels like she has the Sonic welded hips this time, instead of the PVC ones. Not sure on that one, but either way, she does have a thigh cut. And then she does have double knee. Works just fine. And she does have a hinge in the foot. And they rock her. Which for me, this side's a little tighter than the other, but it doesn't feel like it's going to snap or nothing. I might hit it with a little bit of heat though, truth be told. But either way, very, very cool. I am very happy to have this figure, this character, finally after all these years. I think she's pretty awesome. Some would say unequivocally freaking bustin'. So, yeah, man, that's Lilith in a nutshell. Could she have been better? Absolutely. I think the paint on the legs could have been a little cleaner. Maybe not even try to do all that line work. But, you know, you gotta give them an A for effort. They tried a little bit there with the paint. But sometimes the stars don't align, and that's a very difficult thing to do. Heck, Mattel didn't even do that with the DC Universe Classics ladies that had fishnets and whatnot. So, you gotta give them credit where it's due, man. It might hurt a little bit, but you gotta do it. So, with that being said, it is time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Lilith, the Mother of Demons, alongside a couple other figures from the Strange Tales wave. We have Helverine, aka the Weapon of Vengeance, as well as Lord Vlad Dracula. And for those of you wondering what my top 3 figures from this wave are, not naming the Build-A-Figure, of course, you're looking at them. I really like this Helverine. I'll give an honorable mention to Moon Knight. He could easily be tied with Helverine just because he's loaded to the gills with accessories. But we've never had a Helverine before. We've had plenty of Moon Knights. And then, of course, Dracula is my favorite. Lord Dracula, excuse me. Followed by, not his daughter, Lilith, the Mother of Demons. Know your comics, folks. This is not the same Lilith as Dracula's daughter. Doesn't even look like a vampire. I don't know how people get that confused. So, getting these two out of the way here. Make way for our 2 regulars. The Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right. Yeah. Dropping his club as always. I don't know if he was doing that throughout the first half of these reviews. As well as the infamous Living Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. And we know what good old Al Simmons does to Mothers of Demons, so why don't we cut this here and wrap things up with some final thoughts before things get ugly. Overall, and if you haven't figured out what my second favorite figure from the Strange Tales wave is, then you haven't been paying attention throughout the majority of this review because you're looking at her. That's right, good old Lilith here, the Mother of Demons, is my second favorite figure of this entire wave, not naming the Build-A-Figure, of course, because being a big-time 90s era Ghost Rider fan, Midnight Suns fan, this is a character I've wanted in the Life of the Marvel Legends time for the longest time, and we finally got her in the same wave as another character I've wanted in the Life of the Marvel Legends line for the longest time, Lord Vlad Dracula. Now, if we could only get a Zarathos to go with this Lilith, because that's her hubby after all. They were an item in the 90s. I don't know about nowadays. That said, truth be told, I think Lilith's messing around with Blackheart too, but we'll talk about him tomorrow. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.